Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the Pluto Palladian. I was almost going to mess that one up. The Pluto Palladian herself, Sandy Reevy. Say hi.
Palladian, yeah. I got into my class for tomorrow, too. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Awesome. And in the transits we have this week, it's going to be big. We'll run through this. We have Monday, June 27th, Mars sextile Saturn.
Enterprising cooperation.
Tuesday, June 28th, Sandy's favorite day, Neptune stations retrograde.
Heading back to 22 degrees of Pisces.
And Sun square Jupiter.
Ooh, this is why it's my favorite day. Abundant willpower. Carpe Diem.
New moon at 7-degree Cancer.
Love this one too. So lovely.
And Venus sextile Jupiter.
Oh yeah, another good one for my favorite day. A new love? Question mark.
Friday, July 1st, Mars square Pluto.
Plan to chill out.
And Saturday, July 2nd, Mercury trine Saturn.
Just make concrete plans.
And Mercury square Neptune.
Gets kind of vague.
And in talisman time, Sandy has finished up 3 talismans as well as one upcoming July 1st to appreciate the essence of truth, and a new talisman of the month to be announced. Then on the horizon, we have our forecast, our cheat sheet, the USA's Pluto Return Part 2 webinar that you won't want to miss, as well as some of our retreat information. And in our house, as the beginning of the month approaches, I am going to be giving a meditation to seize the day. So listen in to this episode of Astrological Intentions. Hello, Pluto Palladian. I don't know why it's so hard to say.
I signed up for Pilates, the local club Pilates up the street, which is like a half a block up. It's within walking distance. And, you know, so many of my friends have really benefited from, you know, going to Pilates and like, oh my gosh, it's right up the street. Come on. It's summer, right?
Right.
And then I signed up and then went to Greece. And then I went to Cincinnati, and then I went to, you know, Seattle. It's like, oh my gosh, I haven't been. So now I get a bunch of them in a row.
Oh.
So I'll be heading there tomorrow and on Monday, on the next day. And so I'll be stretched out like.
Hitting the ground running.
You know, like, what's that Gumbo guy? The stretchiness.
Yeah.
Because I'll be able to.
Gumby. Yeah. All right. Can't believe I remembered that one. All right. So we are in episode 205, June 27th. So let's get direct to all of you listeners and say thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I wanted to share a message from Dana. She says, this was a review on her quarterly astrology readings with you. Mm-hmm. She says, confirmation of a deeply personal inner wonder. I signed up to work with Sandy in 2020 for her quarterly astrological readings. Astrology is like a foreign language to me, but Sandy makes it so personal. Working with Sandy is an alchemy of the practical and magical. She's a masterful storyteller where you play the starring role. She's full of energy, grounded, deeply kind, and generous.
Oh, that makes me want to tear up.
That was...
Oh, Dana, thank you. I can just imagine what you're watching the sunrise right about now.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dana.
And
you know what? And I do love my subscribers. I really, really do.
I mean, they love you back.
And I was just mentioning to someone the other night that, you know, they get my cell phone number so they can text me on a like, oh, what we were talking about, this followed through, you know, just, you know, as this way.
Right.
So that's been interesting.
Right. And so every once in a while, we do open up the quarterly and monthly subscriptions when you feel like you can take on another one. Right now, they are closed. However, I will be giving announcements. And if you wanted to get on the wait list, you email me, alex@intentionbeads.com. So let's jump into the transits. You have been watching the sky like a hawk with these 6 planets rising.
Ah, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you saw.
So by getting up, you know, you can actually get up. You can actually stay up. And it's around, my time here around 1:00. Saturn comes up, and then we've got Mars coming up. And again, this kind of week has been the moon has been following all of these, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus energy, as the moon's been moving across that. I can't see Mercury. I've got too many trees, and by the time the Mercury would be up over the trees, the sun is dawning. And so Mercury is such a little tiny dot in the sky that it's really hard to see. And now Mercury's moving pretty fast, and so Mercury's moving toward the sun. And so that's going to be kind of a moot point for everyone. But oh man, Jupiter, Mars, you'll see the red planet there. You'll see Venus sparkling like a diamond in the sky. But, a good time to get up is around 4 a.m.
Central.
And you get up, Venus is pretty high in the sky.
But it's probably 4 a.m. for
a
whatever,
lot of people.
whatever time frame people are in.
And by panning up from Venus, you'll see Venus is about 2 fistfuls from the horizon. Then you pan up in a line, and you'll go boom, boom, boom. There they all are.
All in alignment.
So I love it that they call it the parade of planets. That hasn't happened in 18 years and won't happen again until 2040.
Wow.
So for another 18 years, because of, where the planets are positioned in comparison to the sun.
Yeah.
That they're all coming up in front of the sun. And even when they're going down after the sun, we can't see Saturn in that sky until it's gone down, because that's probably the hardest planet other than Mercury, because Mercury moves so close to the sun. But interesting. It's been fun to wake up, run to the top of the deck, open my eyes, squinting as much as I can, acknowledging them all individually, and then heading back to bed.
Yeah.
And then not sleeping.
Oh. Well, let's start off the week, shall we?
It's a big week.
So we'll start off with Monday, June 27th, Mars sextile Saturn.
I love this. This is enterprise cooperation. These are the very two strong malefics. We got Mars in Aries. He rules Aries. And Saturn is in Aquarius, ruling Aquarius. So they're both strong in their own placement. And this is the only time in this configuration where Mars is in Aries, the ruler, and Saturn is in Aquarius, just like I said, and they're sextile. They're 2 signs away from each other. It's the only time. And so this really will not happen again for about 30 to 31 years.
Because Saturn takes so long to get back into Aquarius.
Because when Saturn goes to Capricorn and Mars,
another ruler,
and Mars goes to Aries, there's a square there.
Okay.
The only other way that this could happen is when Saturn is in Capricorn and Mars is in his own sign of Scorpio. There's a sextile to that combination too. So this is just very strong. However, Saturn's retrograde. So even though the Saturn is retrograde, it takes some of his limitations away, or at least these are, weakened or withheld. So they work well together in this capacity. So get your stuff in order and get her done, is what my mom would say. So you get to, take this, if we're looking at overcoming aspects, Saturn is doing the overcoming, is applying to an overcoming sextile to Mars, even though Mars is faster. So this long-term planning is, you can take the initiative.
Okay.
You can get stuff in order. It doesn't have to be accomplished right now, but you're getting it in order. Yeah. And it has to be when it's retrograde. So it's like heeding the got to do it now. No, start planning, start
getting the systems in place,
start doing how you're going to do this, get on Google and figure out how things need to be done and planning ahead. And I just really like this too, for what you and I are doing right now, is discussing our, we've got currently four retreats in 2023. and, planning this in advance so everything is in placement. So the people that, so anybody that is interested in starting their traveling again in 2023, we have 3 of those 4 open for dispositorship. Putting a deposit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
my
to register for the.
Yeah. So take a look at that as we get that a little bit more.
And those links are in our podcast description. If you have any trouble finding them or need any questions asked, you can always email me, alex@intentionbeads.com.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to your favorite day, which is Tuesday, June 28th. And we'll start off, this is the first transit of the day, and that is Neptune stations retrograde.
Yeah, this is at 3:00 in the morning ish. And we've got Neptune here has gotten to 25 degrees of Pisces and goes retrograde from now till early December, all the way back to 22 degrees of Pisces. So anyone who has birthdays around March 13th to March 16th are the most affected because we got the Neptune conjunct the sun. So, these could be, watch for incredible messages from above or from where you know not. Like, why are you getting these inspired thoughts? It's a very much of a time, especially during the retrograde, it can be very passive. Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. So it could be that someone is speaking to you, someone, something, some message. Watch time being dissolved. Where you can't really get a grip on reality. So it's all about inspiration because of if you're trying to connect and move forward, there's going to be a kind of an impasse. It's going to be like, I don't know why I did that. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know where I'm going. I'm paddling upstream and I'm not getting anywhere because I don't even know where I'm going. I don't know if I'm moving the dial. So, it's where you can't get a grip on reality. So just, do meditations.
Yes.
Do
well, I got one for everyone here in our house. So just wait till the end of the episode.
Yeah. And I love the fact that because you're a Pisces and you're getting more into that messages that can come from within, mm-hmm. And certainly a retrograde period is from within.
Right.
Is the subconscious talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But by leading someone, you can imagine.
Yeah. And I also think that even like meditation to me also is kind of like sitting in an empty room, like a very resonating room, mm-hmm. and letting those inner thoughts bounce off the wall and come back and just let them kind of like create their own space. Mm-hmm. And it's so opening. It's so allowing. It's so Tuesday,
peaceful.
June 28th. Sun square Jupiter. So
yeah,
I think I'm so excited for this meditation that we're gonna, I guess,
Sun square Jupiter
with the next transit.
And this is at 7 degrees. Abundant willpower is what I first called it, and then as I really felt into the energy, it's like this is a seize the day.
Oh, and it's kind of interesting, that you picked a square as your favorite day, but I like that because you're always up for the challenge.
Well, and when you talk about Jupiter always wants to overgive. So there's, anytime when you get in a square in opposition or, Jupiter works differently as a stressor. So when you get in a square with one of the benefics, it often wants to overdo. And so Jupiter wants to overabundant. So it could be too excessive. And that's what I'm talking about, abundant willpower that might be too excessive. But just maybe, it's just enough for your purposes now, mm-hmm. right? So take on the day, Carpe Diem. And I really I started researching seize the day quotes that when I would talk to you about this, you were like, oh, gimme.
Right.
Because it was like listening to this abundant willpower. It's like, no, I want to do something with that. Mm-hmm. Because it's about winning people over, right? Like just feeling full of like emotional power because the sun is in Cancer. Mm-hmm. So it can have this radiance. And, if we think about Jupiter is in Aries, the sun is exalted in Aries. So there is this reception going on that Jupiter, we could look at it as Jupiter has, looking at the sun from the sun's location up on high, and the sun is waving back going, how you doing? And besides, this is a overcoming square from Jupiter to the sun. So this is, to me, this is just a blessing, a blessed day of, being confident, taking the win.
Yeah.
Ready for, the sun represents vitality, and Jupiter wants to give more. So it's really just this vital, planning something on this Tuesday, the 28th, is what is it you want to do? Where, you might want too much, again, too excessive, too much going on. So pick the
too much Carpe Diem.
So, when I say too much, just maybe do the first and second, get down to
on
number
your
one,
task list.
number two. So too much, go do 1 and 2 things on your list, but just really lovely.
Yes. And so I took those little Carpe Diem quotes and distilled them into a meditation for us for July, kind of taking us into the new month. So stay tuned to the Our House section of our podcast, and I'll walk you through that meditation. So let's move on to the next transit of June 28th. This is still that Tuesday, the new moon at 7 degrees of Cancer.
Right. And this is at 9:52 p.m. Chicago time. And I called this So Lovely. I don't know if you know the song by Citizen Kane called Citizen Cope.
Citizen Cope.
I always, I say to myself, oh, it's not that one. It's the other one. And then I say the
Citizen
wrong one.
Cope.
So Citizen Cope, he wrote a song, which is one of my favorite. It's kind of a sad song, but it's about a lovely day. And this just reminds me of that. That means we've got the sun and the moon in the moon sign of Cancer. And it's making a square to the Jupiter. Remember, we talked earlier the day about that seize the day? Well, now the moon is getting that reception from the Jupiter. And it's, it's just this really, again, the sun being this exaltation in Aries. So anyone who has a birthday around June 29th has the sun at 7 degrees of Cancer. So, this is a set intention around self-care. And everybody can do this, but specifically this person whose birthday is June 29th that has a sun at 7 Cancer, because this is their rebirth time of their life. Because you don't every year get a 7 degree
new
moon on your sun. And so this is really about that, seizing the day. Set intentions around self-care, like I said, to be more selfless after you've taken care of self. Does that make sense? Did I interpret what I wanted to say? So you can be by taking care of self, you can be selfless.
Right. Because
and your outward appeal.
Right.
Right.
And I think that there's, something to go along with those like words too, that the self is fulfilled. So now you're fulfilling outwards from that source. Like the vitality is charged. It's at 100%, and now you're able to then extend it past those boundaries.
Yeah, and I'm going to also challenge anyone whose birthday is June 29th to reach out to Alex at intentionbeads.com, because I have a special gift.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have a special gift
nice.
for you.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just such a lovely day.
Remind me the birthday.
June 29.
Any year.
Any year.
Okay.
June 29.
All right.
Contact Alex at intentionbeads.com.
Okay.
So, really like this day. And then we move on to still the same day.
Right. The Venus sextile Jupiter.
Venus sextile Jupiter. Yeah. So, and I call this, a new love ? Or financial benefits ? This is kind of like party circle of great friends, new and old. Again, seize this day. It's the same day.
Yeah.
Right. And it's this Tuesday. And, this is about, Venus, appreciation, charm, ability to be friendly and connect and, network. And Jupiter, the generous, the abundant, the happy, the blissful. It's really about having a party circle. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the name of that one store? Party Time. Okay, no, this is a party circle. This is a circle.
Oh, like Party City?
Oh, it's city. I knew it sounded familiar. Okay, yeah. No, this is party circle of bringing all of your friends together. All of your family members together.
Those are always a low-key, really fun / a little bit tense for the host, because if you're bringing people from all, like your work friends, your family, your fun friends, your, eclectic friends, and they all meld together all at the same time, telling stories, being able to introduce one another, it is so much fun.
And whether you're even agreeing or agreeing to disagree, there will be great conversations. Like you have always been the debater. Well, tell me more about that. Why do you believe that?
I feel like I'm more of an explorer. Like I don't like to not necessarily debate, like to prove anyone wrong, but I do like to explore their ideas and their opinions.
And it's this kind of thing. And if we get really now nitpicky, which I did. If I go and look at the dignities of bound lords, which
this is like astrology, like
traditional astrology
4.0, right?
Venus at 7 degrees of Gemini is in Jupiter's bound, so Jupiter's in charge of 7 degrees of Gemini, where Venus sits. Okay. So hold that thought. Jupiter's at 7 degrees of Aries. Guess who rules that bounds? Who's the manager of that bounds?
I would guess Mars, but is it Venus for some strange reason?
It's Venus.
Why?
It's a bounds. These are bounds. These are sections. There's about 5 sections in a 30-degree section, and they're all variable. You have to...
So it's not like traditional rulers.
No, it's not ruler. That's the ruler. This is the bounds manager.
Oh, interesting.
And so the fact that these two are in this configuration at 7 degrees of their own, of wherever they are in the sky, that they're in each other's bound. So this again brings in this Venus-Jupiter connection of
tying the knot, right?
Circle up.
It's kind of like that tying the knot that, either like within marriage or commitment or, being within each other's bounds. So interesting. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
So let's move on to July. The first of the month is Friday, July 1st, Mars square Pluto.
Completely different.
Change it up.
This is Mars, very strong Mars in own sign of Aries is making a square. So this is a tense because we're not talking about the beneficial planets. We are talking about 2 of the strong, powerful planets are in a tense arrangement.
Right.
And this is Friday night, and plan to chill out, really. Chill out. By planning it ahead of schedule, when this forceful energy comes up and there's kind of a intense force, you're like, hey, dude, I'm already chilling out. That's my plan for tonight. So I'm chilling out. I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm going to watch a really cool movie. And if I don't feel like talking to anybody, I'm not. That's my plan, man. Because it's going to be hard to do. It's going to be hard to chill when you have these 2 incredible forces at each other's kind of throats. Yeah, be aware of your anger. Be aware of your anger. Be aware of their anger. Because remember, this is happening on a mundane level. This isn't in your natal chart. This isn't, unless it is.
This is more global.
Unless it is. We always talk about mundane. I sometimes bring it into personal. But, this is, and we could bring it into personal.
Right, but it's also, within kind of solar placements. We're talking about sun signs mainly when we can tie it to specific signs.
Yeah.
But whenever anyone knows their own chart or gets a reading with you, that's when they can know whether or not this is not just a mundane transit, it also is happening in their own chart.
It's happening in the charts. This is at 27 degrees. So if anyone has a 26, 27, 28, or even 29 degree, late degree of the cardinal signs. So this is where Mars is, Aries, Cancer. This is 20, like again, around 27 degrees. This is late in the cardinal signs, Libra or Capricorn. So that all of this will be more affected to you. But remember, this energy is going on in the sky. So, we have to be aware of, disappointments that you lash out at someone. We have to watch your back. Watch your back here. Could be a violent. This is a
violent time.
This is a violent transit. It can be. So particularly, those that I just mentioned in that late degree of cardinal signs.
Okay, so let's move on to Saturday, July 2nd. We have 2 transits here. They're both Mercury transits. First is Mercury trine Saturn.
Yeah. So this is, we wake up after Friday night and we can make some plans. So maybe you were able to get some good sleep because you did some meditation. Maybe you're doing a seize the day meditation that you're about to hear in a minute. This is making concrete plans. Now, it's interesting. This is a trine. And I really flip back in your calendars or in your diaries, in your journals, what was happening around April 24th. This is when these 2 planets were in square. So this was a kind of an impeding thought or request or conversation or idea. Mercury, it was a communication. Maybe you got a message and it was square Saturn around this April 24th. That was their last connection. So there was a delayed topic. There was something that was like, kind of a disappointment maybe. Now, today, the 2nd, July 2nd, we got the trine. And this has and Mercury's in a better position in his own sign of Gemini. So now's the time to make and move with the promise. Like you have a plan now, the way that whatever had gotten confused or stuck or delayed can get freer now. You can start moving the puzzle pieces forward, or the game pieces forward. You don't move puzzle pieces forward, by the way, Sandy. Okay.
Chess pieces.
Things in my head that come out of my mouth. Pisces, Mercury, Pisces. They always hit, but odd. But I do want to talk about the caveat that's coming,
which is the next transit, right?
Yeah,
that Mercury
same
square
day,
Neptune. Okay,
same day by 4:00 in the afternoon. Now things get vague because this Mercury is now squaring Neptune. It was trining Saturn in the morning upon your coffee, your morning coffee, and by your cocktail time. Same day there, and maybe that is this cocktail time. Maybe you start your cocktail time at 4 p.m. on this day, specifically because you're done with the work. You're going to have a better time because things get vaguer. And if you're trying to do something, you're having a little trouble on, I don't know now. I had that all planned out this morning, and now I'm like, it's not. So have a dividing line of morning stuff and afternoon stuff. They're completely 2 different energies. Okay. So details can't be seen, but they can be imagined. So you do a review on the morning's plan is needed in the afternoon when the details can fall in place in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because this moves away from that. So it's like the plan I thought, now I get to imagine it. So I don't have to plan it, but let's just imagine we're putting it out in the air, or we're doodling on a napkin from our cocktail, right on possibilities, but we're not signing on a line.
Yeah, awesome. Well, so that is a big week that we have ahead. We haven't had one of these types of weeks in a while, so we're going to welcome it with open arms and be open to what's happening. So,
and then we'll get into the July 4th weekend when we talk about next week. So
Yes.
it's on the horizon.
So let's move into talisman times, where you have finished up 3 talismans. The first, Tuesday, June 21st, to engage in abundant sales and trade.
My consumers find advantages and resources purchasing my products and services. We both are fortunate and enterprising.
Enterprising.
I made a small bead bracelet here because we got this, to engage in abundant sales trade in enterprises, because this is a Mercury talisman. So Mercury is high up on the midheaven. It's the ruler of the chart. He's in his own sign. We got the moon making an aspect to Jupiter. It's just really, really a nice.
Mercury's the boss in all of this.
Yeah, and it's like mercurial, particularly in Gemini, is the merchant service. Like, I've got 10 bananas for $1. I'll give you 90 cents. Made. Deal. Good. I got my 10 bananas for under 10 cents a piece. Mm-hmm. It's the deals. It's the negotiation. Okay. So love this one. Yeah.
And then Thursday, June 23rd, to be fully satisfied.
I ask this to be so. My universal nature is auspiciously fortunate and fulfilling. This is a third lunar mansion, and probably of all the lunar mansions, the third one is my favorite because it does promise abundance, good wealth, good support, good fortune. Everything works out well. It's the bracelet I wear every day. And my bracelet I wear every day, and I tell people about that when they ask, is it's my one I wear every day because it says everything will turn out exactly as it should be, and that's the right way. So I never And so this one is, I ask it to be so. My universal nature, what the universe has promised to me, is auspiciously fortunate and fulfilling. Like, I see it as that, right? I see it as that. Something about the day is that. And really, this is, and the moon in third lunar mansion is between 25 degrees of Aries and 8 degrees of Taurus. And here the moon is at 0 degrees Taurus, right up on the midheaven. And that is not only the moon in the third lunar mansion, the moon is also exalted in Taurus. So this is a large bead, to be fully satisfied. Again, it's not to be content. Satisfaction to me and contentment is two different things. And satisfied is like, I've had a good day. Content's like, yeah, it was okay. I'm content. That's good. That's good enough. That's good. That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like going to dinner and going, oh man, the salmon's not kind of done the way I like it.
I mean, I think,
but it's fine.
Especially when you're you're comparing those two. I think satisfaction is a higher degree of, contentment. But I also feel like contentment is like, kind of placid and very, it's okay. Yeah. It's not as like, it's okay. Right.
Okay.
I'm dissecting your tone on that one.
I see you're debating. Was this a little debate?
Maybe. So let's move to Sunday, June 26th, to be recognized for my formation of words. You go. My formation of tone as well. Go on.
My thoughts and ideas arrive quickly. Each of them hold valuable emotional power that is accepted as my own. Okay, there you go, Alex.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm going to accept that one.
And this is also a Mercury talisman. Mercury is very, very strong right now. He's not retrograde. He's out of shadow. He's been out of shadow, and he's moving fast. And in Gemini is just his placement. So, this is, again, to be recognized for my formation of words, like somebody listens to you. You can be right. This is for writers. This is for speakers. These are for thought leaders.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that
poetry
whole thought leader, that there are more and more thought leaders coming out, but the spiritual thought leaders putting something out there as, well, what do you think?
Right.
Could this be true for you? This is true for me. Is it for you? Versus being told what to think, being told what to do. Way different. So this is great for spiritual thought leaders.
Yes. So the upcoming talisman that you have is Friday, July 1st, to appreciate the essence of truth.
Here we go with another Mercury. And by this point, Mercury's getting to be about 23 degrees of Gemini. And probably, well, we know that within 1 week we'll be done. We'll be out of his placement here. So to appreciate the essence of truth, I understand right away the implications of what is being spoken. I take the right and correct action. No hurt feelings. Which, you know, when we were reading the book that I bought, I weirdly found 2 of them. And now I forget what it was.
Oh, the astrology book?
Yeah. The little tiny blue book.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get back to you on that. Where, and, you know, it's like no hurt feelings. It's like, you know, no worry, no soul. Like, you know, there's things that you can have a bumping into someone or, you know, grazing something with your car. It's like no hurt feelings here.
Right.
Like this can be repaired.
Right.
So I really like this, to appreciate the essence of truth. You know, we've got Mercury at the top of the chart again, and the moon being in Leo is enclosed by the 2 benefics, and to get that too is really cool. So again, I understand right away the implications of what is being spoken, whether I'm speaking it, my friend, the orator, the thing I'm reading, the audiobook I'm listening to. I take the right and correct action. No hurt feelings. I think
that there is
here.
like a certain amount of like respect too, that you're allowing whoever is speaking their truth, they're speaking, you know, their message that they want to share, and you can take your own truth from that, you know. And I just feel like there's this really great reciprocity. But go on with your comment.
So I had a dream last night, and I've been dreaming probably for the last month about 150%.
Wow.
Vivid and multiple dreams. And I remember every one of them.
Cool.
And the one I had last night, I won't tell you the whole dream because it gets convoluted like they all do. But I come upon a hidden stack of money. I come upon a hidden stack of money that has a rubber band around it with a note. And the note just says how much money is in this pile. And I look around and nobody's looking at me. And nobody knows that I've opened this drawer that was a magical drawer. Just like I just hit a button and this thing opened. Kind of like a cash register. But it really wasn't. I'm not at a cash register. I'm just I hit something on a drawer, and then this secret drawer open, and I find all this money, and it's a lot of money.
Okay.
And I'm deciding in the moment, is this mine? Do I take it? I mean, it's not mine. I don't think.
Right. You don't know if.
But it's not my writing, but nobody's claiming it. It's this hidden drawer. These people could be dead. If I just close this up, do I take it now? Do I come back for it? I'm in this feeling of like, this money would be really helpful to me right now. And I want to, and I remember like, and I'm going to cry now. It's like I take the right and correct action, as I mentioned, this talisman that I'm going to do. And I decide not to. And I put it away thinking that an ancestor or someone that buys this whatever furniture will find it. It's not mine. It's not meant for me, even though I found it. I wake up 2 hours after I wake up. I have that flashback of that money. And I thought, oh my God. And I started almost tearing up. I did the right thing by in my dream saying, my God, this would really help me right now, but it's not mine. And I got in my real world. And actually I told you I was doing some ironing of my napkins, because I don't use paper napkins or paper towels. I use cloth, but I iron them. So there was a big pile of them upstairs. Yeah. And I just felt so proud, and it gave me a leg up a confident sense up
a
that
boost.
In my subconscious, I did the right thing when I was questioning that this would really help right now. Anyway, I just wanted to say that comparing to this, it's like it's a big deal.
Yeah, and that's a much more cerebral, decision rather than like a more instinctual one of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to hurry up and put this in my pocket.
And that kind of leads to seizing the day. How do you seize the day? Right.
And with what value and for what reason? Right.
Because it was like this pile of money. Oh my God. And everybody's going to see it. I'm not in my age of pregnancy. So it's like, how can I hide it? All that went through my head, and I decided, no,
this is for,
and it just gave me a sense of in my cognizant world that I do make correct decisions, even in my dream world.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
So anyway,
seize the day. Leave the money. So the talisman of the month that you have chosen is to finalize the transformation of my body. And this is a really beautiful purple one with lots of crowns, florals, and the affirmation is, as I coast into the final phase of my disciplined plan to change my body, appearance, and healthy vitality, I feel amazing and alive.
This is the seize the day kind of attitude, right? So this is my talisman of the month. And, this almost sounds like a Saturn opposing your ascendant, or Saturn on the ascendant, or the moon or something. It was just
moon sextile Venus.
Yeah. About feeling good, looking good, but having a particular quality about it, doing some repair. So, and I guess that was personal to me.
Yeah, this is a great one. So I'm going to, as soon as July 1st hits, that talisman of the month is going to go live on the site. So you can click that link in the description. So let's move on to the horizon and just go through our events. We have July 2nd coming up this week is the July astrology forecast with Sandy and Susan. We go live every month to discuss what is happening. Sandy and Susan will give you the dates, what's going on, and their rendition of that astrological transit. Mm-hmm. Also, to keep supporting us and Sandy and Susan's really wonderful and hard work that they do every month to provide all of these dates is the July cheat sheet. If you haven't already subscribed to the whole entire year, go ahead and download that cheat sheet now. It is alive and waiting for you.
It's a discount if you buy this monthly. Mm-hmm. You have to click too many buttons to me.
Right. If you buy the whole year, you get a
discount, and you only do it once, and it automatically shows up in your inbox, and then you print it
every month as soon as we're done with it.
And I always suggest to do this in advance. Get this in front of you with your pencil and paper. Oh, that will be in the paper. Mm-hmm. And
because if you're planning a dinner date, or you're planning meetings, or it is kind of nice just to have a resource, right? And
then we add on to that for July, we're doing it July 2nd. You'll be able to add some little side notes that we talk about.
Mm-hmm. And so let's move to July 13th, where you and Susan are going to be uncovering the part 2 of the USA's Pluto return.
Please.
And I mean, the information that you're going to be providing in this is so exciting and so revealing of what's going on, the Roe v. Wade, the gun control. Right.
So much is the whole
the war with Ukraine.
January 6th. We're going through a transformation, and now this is Pluto retrograde, and this is the second of 3 passes. We had our first webinar in February where we talked about things that were already showing up in the first hit. That was the first hit in February. Of course, the second hit is this July period, which we're already seeing in the news what this is.
Right. And it
can be disturbing. It's Pluto.
Right. You and Susan were actually kind of speculating, of course, the way
Yeah.
that, you only can with astrology when it hasn't arrived yet. In that part 1 of this series, and just the information that you were, it's so supported with what was going on since then. You and Susan are going to be, going over those points a little bit. However, you can download this webinar still. I have it ready and waiting for you to stream. Just head over to the description and click that link. This is going to be a 3-part series and very interesting.
So the first part we recorded, like I said, in February, and that's what's available right now. And it's like, what, $25?
Right. Yeah. And then the July 13th is going to be the part 2.
Yes. And then we're ready, and we're following the storyline.
Right.
Right? This is what's happening in this United States of America.
Their astrological chart.
Yeah.
Right.
The United States of America's astrological chart, when it was born, right? And then the third will be in October, November, when Pluto will have been completed.
Right.
And
we'll see what's happening then.
What's going on at that time. So
right.
we're bringing you the news and the
astrological spin on it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
really
definitely worth, and it's worth for you even to tell your friends of all the webinars that we have done. This is the most profound set of,
especially because you can
newsworthy.
See, right.
You're hearing it.
You can, and we're experiencing it daily.
Yeah.
Throughout.
We may even do a little ritual of a togetherness, kind of a ritual, because we do need to stay
as a team
positive, that these hard times of gun control and Roe versus Wade, that we do have some control of our own selves and follow that through, because it's the next couple years are integral in how the United States of America stands.
And so also don't forget that our retreats for the 2023 are on the website, ready for you to throw down your deposit. That deposit is transferable up to 6 months of the start date for the retreat. So I want to just quick mention here that the Mexico retreat, the early bird is actually ending July 7th.
Let's qualify. There's two.
Right. Yeah. There's 2 dates for the Mexico retreat. However, there's only one that's available.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Because the other one that's sold out.
That's July 21st.
Correct. Yeah. January 21st through the 28th.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
We had all this set.
No, I know. And we've been talking about a lot of dates here. So January 21st through the 28th, that is the 2023 Mexico retreat. That is a part 2. And the early bird will be ending July 7th. That's coming up next week. Go ahead, throw down your retreat deposit, and then you will hold that early bird price. Also, April 1st to the 11th is our possible dates for the 2023 Bali retreat. May 1st through the 11th, as well as September 7th through the 14th. 2023, that is the Amargos, Greece retreat, and those are all on the website. If you want any questions answered, more information, go ahead, email me, and I can even get you on a one-to-one to talk to Sandy a little bit more about some details. So let's move into our house, where I have a meditation for you all.
Yes, I'm excited.
So let's get comfortable. This can be an active meditation, something where you can lend your mind into these quotes that we've collected, to take a moment and ponder them, be inspired by them, challenge them, experiment with them. And, so you don't necessarily have to be in that seated position and in meditation, but if you want that to be, go ahead and Carpe Diem, take it. And also, just as a quick mention too, I think we all know what the meaning behind Carpe Diem is, but it's It's that Latin phrase that means to pluck the day or to seize the day. And it's a way for us to encourage ourselves on focusing on the present, because when we focus on the past, we're there in the past. And when we focus on the future, we're there in the future, and we're not even, here in the present moment. And that's where all the magic happens, where, we can avoid postponing things. We can take every life experience wholly and humanly, as we are here to do and to experience. So whether it's dark outside, whether it's light outside, let's just take this moment and seize it. So if you can, make sure to put away any distractions. If you are actively doing something, make sure that you have your ear open and are at least able to ponder something. So if you're working with your hands or you're doing something, not reading, not listening to something else either. So let's begin here. So to begin, let's take a big, deep inhale with an audible exhale, and letting go of the things, the staleness, the desire to live in the past, or the desire to worry and prepare ourselves for what's in the future, and just come right here, right now, as we are. So we've collected some quotes all about Carpe Diem, and this is a time for us to feel invigorated, to feel empowered in making courageous choices for ourselves, because we realize sometimes that our time here is not guaranteed. It is not promised, and that is the fuel to seize this day. So I'll begin, and I'll give us some time to soak these messages in from famous people, from our wise people who have come before us to share their message and their quote. This first one is from Marcus Aurelius. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, and to love. Bringing people into the here and now, that is the real universe. That is the present moment. The past is no good to us, and the future is full of anxiety. Only the present is real and useful. Saw Bellow. Make each day your masterpiece. John Wooden. Today is the day you've been waiting for. Marty Rubin. The future depends on what you do today. Gandhi. Go for it now. The future is promised to no one. Wayne Dyer. You will never find time for anything, and if you want time, you must make it. Charles Buxton. You've never lived this day before, and you never will again. So make the most of it. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Walt Disney. Your life isn't behind you. Your memories are behind you. Your life is always ahead of you. Today is a new day. Seize it. Steve Maraboli. Forever is composed of nows. Emily Dixon. Why not just live in the moment, especially if it has a good beat? Goldie Hawn. God gave us the gift of life. It is up to us to give ourselves the gift of living well. Voltaire. Don't count the days. Make the days count. Don't be fooled by the calendar. There are only as many days in the year as you make use of. Charles Richards. And one last one for a good laugh. Seize the moment. Remember all those women on the Titanic who waved off the dessert cart. Irma Bombeck. So I thank you all for taking these moments to really listen in, get inspired, ponder this thought, this idea of what is it that holds you back? What is it that you have to overcome in order to seize this day, seize this moment, take a quick account of what can make this life sweet for you, because it looks different for you than it does for anyone else. Bring in that sense of intention, bring in that ability to overcome the fear, overcome the doubt, and go for what you want. Make a step towards something that will make your life sweeter, something that will make your life more exciting, something that you feel will give you a sense of purpose and a sense of value. So thank you again for listening in to this meditation, this active meditation. I hope you all have a fabulous day. Carpe Diem, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river, wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story